Just want to tell a quick story. Um, y'all remember when I told that story of seeing two homeless guys both missing the same leg, a few weeks apart from each other, when I was going through all this demonic stuff and the whole Mandela thing was coming around, and I'm researching all these different things and just going through complete demonic experiences, and not being able to trust anybody, and uh, and God leading me to give these men something, and the whole "be careful who you entertain" for their angels. Well, I saw one of them about 2 weeks ago, and tonight I was going into town, and he was walking. It's freezing down here. We're in Louisiana. It's gonna get into 20s tomorrow. It's in the 40s right now, and it's still early. And I've just been thinking about homeless people a lot lately. Just like, what do they do? Like, like up there, um, just in the north. Like, I don't know how y'all. It's a different kind of cold, but the temperatures are still. The temperature is the thing that's gonna kill you, not the way it feels. Um, so I stopped, and I asked him if he needed help. Um, I couldn't offer him a place to go, or anything like that. But I had to share with him. I had to tell him. And so, um, and this was the first guy, by the way. In the old story, I'll probably link it in a few days. The second man had red hair. He was the one that I was like, oh, that's not the guy that I remember. But the first one was the one when I was working for these people that were kind of involved in this, like, gang stalking, whatever you want to call it. They were doing something demonic. I mean, like, they were. Um, Anytime I'd go to give him food, they would take it from me and pass it out the window. Like, so he didn't even really knew I existed, which led me to believe that there's something spiritual there that, I was thinking that he could have been an angel. And, and, and so I'm trying to share this with this man. I'm like, look, I got to tell you the story, bud. And I helped him get to someplace a little warmer. He said it was a shed, and the man asked me for an open bottle of water that he saw, and it sucks. I wish I could have. I don't know. I should have done more. And as paranoid as I am, not trusting anyone, I felt fully confident, fully, no fear. It does. I mean, there have been times when I've been around people and God's like, get out of there. You know what I mean? But there's no fear, and I don't trust anybody. So it's just something God I knew was leading me to do. But so I tell this guy, I'm like, look, bud, I gotta tell you the story. And so I briefly tell him that I was going through some demonic stuff, that there were people around me engaging in what we'll call just iniquity. Like they were doing something, y'all have seen the stories. If not, go back and watch them. It all really happened. And and so I just briefly say, look, I went through something demonic. There were people involved in this that I knew, that I trusted. I was about to be homeless, and I'm leaving church one day, and I see someone with a missing leg, and God's like, give him all the money in your wallet except the $5. And I went up to him, and it wasn't you. And it wasn't you. And he goes, yeah, man, they got another guy in town. I said, he's got red hair. He said, yeah, red. And so I don't think it was well received. Okay. Turns out that they're not angels. But it doesn't. That doesn't like tear me down or anything. It doesn't mean that angels weren't there watching. Nothing is hidden from God. And I was telling him, I'm like, well, I mean, that's cool, buddy, but you have to understand the amount of demonic stuff I was going through when I went through this. Like, I know, I'm using this as a witnessing tool, kind of. I'm like, look, this whole Jesus thing is real, man. And I'm like, okay, so y'all aren't angels, right? Yeah, I mean, it's sort of comedic, because you're telling somebody you thought that they could have been an angel, him or the other guy, or both. And I'm like, okay, so y'all aren't angels, but the amount of oppression that I was going through at the time, God used that to say, maybe they are, And if we only had the eyes to see, Is that Elijah or Elijah? I'm so bad I can't ever just pull verses. The story when he opened the other man's eyes and there were nothing but angels all around him, you know. Um, and I don't know. I just wanted to share that. I've I've been holding back on my videos, like I said, because God's told me to be quiet about certain things. The other reason I've been held back on things that have nothing to do with what God's saying is I didn't mean to give any symbolism there. Sorry for any triggers. The other reason is because I don't want to focus on the demonic anymore. I know today I said two things about two songs. Originally, I was actually going to go over them because music speaks to me. It's like it gives me visions. But I don't want to focus on the things of the enemy. They are there. They won't go away until God says no more. So I really don't want to talk about them anymore, yet I felt that I had to share that story earlier. But I was watching Awaken with Coffee started back up, and the other day I was going over it. I went to make a video about this, and it kind of fell apart. But there were some things that Photo was talking about later on in the show, and it had this memory that was brought back up around the time that the birds were going crazy, and I was living at that trailer, and I knew that something was up, but I didn't know how I was going to get out of it. I didn't even know how much danger I was in spiritually. And one day, the person that lived with me was kind of like dozing off in the chair, and there's a knock at the door. And you have to understand this trailer was down a long dead end dirt road. It's in the middle of the town, in the middle of town, but we are at the end of a road. One way in, one way out, mostly family property. And this guy looked about my age, kind of scruffy. He's like a 5 o'clock shadow, like he hadn't shaved in a few days. Barefoot, no shoes, dirty, red cargo shorts and a dirty shirt. And he just comes walking. And we had a long driveway. So there's this long road, and then we have a super long driveway. And he walks up and he asks for a glass of water. And I'm like, sure, man. You know? And so I go get the water, and I'm kind of weirded out about it. But again, understand there's the trust thing. I don't know what this person's here for, and I'm starting to experience demonic stuff. And I'm like, what is this? You know, what is going on here? And the reason that story came to me was Photo said something about God doing something for you. I can't quote him. I don't remember. It's later on in the show. I got a lot from it. Thanks, Awaken. I'm enjoying it, and Photo, and it got me to thinking about God coming down to visit us. You know, would you even know that it was God? Probably not. Was that guy God? I don't know. He might have been somebody that was thirsty. I found it odd that he came down this long driveway where there was a house that looked a lot nicer than ours. The trailer was a little dirty, you know, and it was a lot closer to the road. He had to pass it up to come to us, and there were people home. So I don't know. Like, even the person that lived with me was just kind of like, okay, welcomed him, talked to him. But there was something about there was something spiritual there. Could have been just a thirsty human being, much like there are actual homeless people that don't happen to be angels. Yet God used them to give me the absolute hope that the angels were with me, that they were watching me, that they were close by. That was the message that God was giving me. We're not far away. You know, you don't see us and everywhere that we are, but we're not far from you, bud. And it was in their humbleness, you know. And so I'm jumbling all this up, but I felt something spiritual about that, thinking back to that young man who was just because he got the water, he drank, he sat, he talked with us for a little while, just very general. He was very friendly, and then he walked off and just went walking back up the road. Didn't turn to a house. I sat there on the porch smoking and hanging out with the dog, you know. And he just walked like, you know what I mean? Like it was just odd. And so I don't know. I started to make this video because you have to understand the comedic nature of me trying to explain to a homeless person. Like it was kind of funny. I don't think it was the best received. He did ask me to pray with him, and I pray that you know I pray that those prayers that God will do a wonderful work in that man's life. And I don't know. It's another one of those things. I just wanted to share it with you. Like, even if you just believe that the things in the spirit realm, manifest in the physical. It was such a weird experience. For the guy, it's just I wish I could show you the surroundings. I guess I should have made the video because I was going to use pictures and show. I couldn't get street view on Google. That's why I didn't do it. But it was just odd that he came to that house. But anyway, so I don't know. Look, I don't want to focus on the demonic anymore. I don't. If there's something that absolutely needs to be said, I will say it. The last one, it was pressing on my heart to get it done. I had to, whatever. Make of it what you will. I just keep feeling that. It's just weird. But I don't want my channel to be about just, we're so overwhelmed and oppressed. We are oppressed, yet the main thing, as I said in the last one, that God has been trying to get me to focus on is all you need is me. That's it. So if you take anything from this, take that. But those are just 2 more stories of my life, and please pray for that homeless person. And if let me back up. I'm gonna make this quick. The way that I met up with him was because there was another guy in town there, and I don't know if he's homeless. I've heard rumors that he's walked to a car before, and this person, I was gonna give him a few dollars. I saw him. I had to circle back around to go give him like a couple bucks. I prayed over the money that it would change within him. That money, whatever was on it, from my hand to his, that it change something inside of him, if any of that is true. Because all God kept repeating as I was about to just pass up the turnaround was, love your enemies anyway. So even if even if it's a whole scam and all that, bless them anyway. If they sue you for your jacket, give them your coat too. Or sue you for your shirt. You see what I'm saying? And then as I was leaving, I saw the other guy, and I had to be like, oh man, I got to tell you a story. I was pumped up after that, So, I don't know. I hope this is uplifting. I know it sounds like a jumbled ramble, but I don't know. Just see somebody homeless, pray about it, because that's what I always do first. There have been other ones, and God's just like, no, go ahead. But on this particular night, God asked me to do something, and that man asked me for prayer, and I hope that just this small experience, even if I seem nuts, will show him that all this is real. This world is the fake thing. That this Jesus thing that's it. And I pray that you would do the same. In your own community. Be a fisher of men. So, God bless. I just wanted to share. Take from it what you will. All right, bye.